Welcome. In this video, I will show you how to set up your calculator to graph a scatter plot. So we'll take a look here at an example of forest fires and acres burned. So an environmentalist wants to determine the relationships between the numbers in thousands of forest fires over the year and the number in hundred thousands of acres burned. And they have data here for 6 years. So the first step is to get this data into your calculator. So stat edit, and I've done that already. So your X values in L1 and your Y values in L2. So if you wanted to pause the video for a moment and enter your data, that will be step 1. Okay, next step is to get the scatter plot. Now what you're going to see here is I have an example where there is sort of a multiple choice type situation. So one of these is the correct graph. And though you could do it by hand, it's nice to be able to have your calculator do so, especially when there's even more data going on. All right, so let's see if we can get the calculator to show us which graph is correct. So what I want you to do next on the calculator is hit your Y equal button. And I want to make sure there's nothing there that might interfere with my graphing. And so if you do have anything after any of these Y functions, just go ahead and hit clear to get rid of them. And you might want to scroll down to the very bottom, just make sure there's nothing there. So that's step 1. And then across the top, you're going to see plot 1, plot 2, plot 3. Now we're going to be working with plot 1 when we do our graphs. So I'm going to use this screen to turn plot 1 on, and the other 2 I want off. So on the screen right now, plot 2 is turned on. So if it's darkened, it's been selected. So I want that one to be off and plot 1 to be on. So depending on what your calculator settings were, you may or may not have to change anything here, but let's turn plot 1 on. So I'm going to go use my arrow to sit on top of it so it's blinking. And now if I hit my enter button, that's how we toggle on to off and vice versa. So let me turn plot 2 off. So I just arrow on top of it, hit enter. And now when I come off, you'll see I turned it off. So we'll want that plot 1 on selected and 2 and 3 off. All right, now above the Y equal button, you're going to see stat plot. So we're going to get to our stat plots by hitting second Y equal. And you should see your plot 1 is turned on. You could also turn it on here, but if you've done the previous step, we should be good. So I'm going to select plot 1. And the type of graph, this scatter plot, is the first option there. So make sure you select the first option. And then X list, Y list, make sure those say L1, L2. And then the mark that it graphs is up to you. I'll just leave a little square there. And if you have color, you can play with color. Now, one more step. So based on the graphs that we'll be selecting from, I'm trying to make my calculator match these. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set a window on the screen by using my window button. So we're going to tell the calculator what area of the coordinate plane we're trying to graph. So in order to match these, the X value here starts at 0 and it goes to 80 at increments of 10. Now, the one below it actually has a point that's a little bit past 80. So to be safe, I'm going to tell the calculator to graph from 0 to 90 on the x-axis. So let's do that first. X min, I'll put 0. And then X max, let's make that 90. And then the scale, the increment, we want that to be 10. So I've already entered 10, but you want to make sure that's a 10. And then on the y-axis, they've gone from 0 up to 80. And it looks like all the graphs none of them go above 80, so we'll stick with 0 to 80. So 0 and then 80. And for the scale, we'll do 10. And you don't have to worry about the rest of it. And then your window is set. So all you need to do is hit your graph button. All right, and now I can quickly see that the correct answer was graph D. All right, so that's how you do a scatter plot. I'm going to just add another piece of information here before we go, that if you hit your trace button, so I'm going to hit trace, and I'm going to see my blinker here. So I call it a blinker. So I'm blinking on a point, and that point is X69, Y42. So by hitting trace, there's 6942. You can then use your arrows left and right to go through those points and just see the coordinates of the points that you plotted. So while it might not be totally necessary here, just something to show you before we leave. All right, and there you have it. That is how you graph a scatter plot.